Yeah, thank you. No problem. So there are a lot of components are used. Manufacturing cost you are finalizing. For what purpose your manufacturing cost finalized? Based on the components what you are using, cost of that particular product, right? What is the cost which is involved for that particular product? That is one thing you will finalize. You will see cost of the product, right? What was the product cost? The component cost. Next, man hours of development, because a labor is, we are using an worker to manufacture something, so their man hours, right? How much man hours it will be taken. Next, whatever the power we have.
This is man hours for the component. This is man hours for the component.
The component cost. See, for example, you have taken a chip, right? That component you are getting from the other person. For example,
I understood. So we said it depends on two things, right? The first thing is cost of the it depends on the cost of the component which has been used, right? And second thing you said man hours. So these man hours are for developing the component, or is it man hours for assembly?
Man hours nothing but to manufacture workers. The
component or the final product.
Final product, right? Final product, right? So see, for example.
So it means the man hours for assembling all those components, right, into a single final.
So for assembling all that, right? For assembling and all, there is required. So there's some sort of man hours are required, right?
Right.
Now, third point, the amount of power you are using to manufacture a product, right? Because you are using machineries, for that you require power. So power cost. Next, 4, machinery cost, because you have purchased machinery for some about 4 crores, right? For example, 4 crores of the investment you have made. So if you have made, if you have taken 4 crores of the machinery, the actual capacity of the machinery, assume that roughly I'm saying, for example, it will manufacture 100 mobiles at a time, right? Every day. This is what the capacity of it. But sometimes, if there are some unwanted situations due to power failure, even though it's a power failure, we have all the generator facilities, everything will be there in manufacturing unit, but still there will be indifferent reasons, something like the kind of pandemic situation we have faced. If this kind of situation, that's a different thing, right? Because these are all the exceptional cases, happens very rare. But sometimes if it is 100 mobiles manufactured for that investment, right, for that manufacturing mission for 4 crore, you guys are, your team, your people are manufacturing only 60, right? They are unable to manufacture 40. So what is happening here? Actual capacity of the machine is 100, but what they are manufacturing is 60, means 40 is lacking. So why is this lacking 40? 40 is lacking due to unforeseen situations, so which is not in the hands of the people. Okay, that is exclusive condition, right? So that is exclusive condition. For what are the other reasons? Performance of the people. Second, coordination among them. Third, expertise. Above all that, a perfect planning and execution of manufacturing something, right? If they want to have perfect planning and manufacturing, whatever the components we use to manufacture a product should be there on the place where it is located. So we have to put products on the place it is. So whenever you want to manufacture something, in order to reduce or in order to save your time, you have to plan your components in such a way where you go and take up the product, immediately do the work, so that a number of time you are spending.
Raj, your last line got missed, or there was network issue. Hello.
My answer is as follows. For example, you want to manufacture a product. There were 10 people who are using it, who are preparing it. Now, if they want to prepare product, they have to take the raw material, right? Different components they have to take. Assume that there is no discipline of managing the components. What will happen? To search all that wherever it is available and all, everything takes a lot of time, isn't it? Right? Second, sometimes due to lack of experience, instead of using 2 3, they are using 5 to 6 small components. Means wastage of time, wastage of components will be more in manufacturing unit. Because of this, what will happen? Because of the time wastage, because of the components wastage, end of the day, components, even though it is wastage, end of the day we have purchased it somewhere, right or not? We have paid some amount of money for that. What we have to do now, due to the wastage of time and components, that cost should also be included in the manufacturing of the product cost, isn't it? Right? So whenever you go for a competition, whenever you're going to the market, assume that your manufacturing price is more than the one which is there in the market. There is a possibility of decline in sales, right? Because customer may not be interested to buy the product, because you are adding your wastage also there. You're adding your wastage cost and all, everything also into that. Now the reason why there is a concept called just in time. This just in time later on, because in the beginning days, this later on that has been remodified according to the present situation, and they are using a process called lean process. So lean is a process which is being used to identify where the products are available, at the same time how much time are we spending, and how you are saving your time to complete a particular task and all, everything on less time, right? This is in reference to the manufacturing part I'm talking about. So end of the day, manufacturing unit want they want a manufacturing of a product must be completed in less time without having any wastage. Even though if it's wastage, it must be less in number. This is what the final target is, right? They want to achieve the final target. That's the reason why even they were using the same process. Here the only difference is IT projects may, you're developing a product, right? Or you're developing a project, an application you're developing. Whatever the process you guys are following, either a manufacturing unit or a service sector, remains the same. What is that you're doing here? You're planning to save the time, and whatever is required for the customer, you are giving on time. Right? So this is the final target is. So these lean process, right? So whatever the agile process and all, everything has becoming in regular part in any project, in any process across industries. It's not only IT projects, it's not only about manufacturing, even service sector, something like banking, insurance, healthcare. Even these people are also adopting these agile practices and all, everything in their working environment. For example,
So,
you want
so
to manage functional.
your voice is again cracking, Raj. Also, I have one question. So, like JIT, Lean, which is the modified version of JIT, right? So, it's just a process used in manufacturing just to make sure that the product that we are creating as per the customer need is getting created as per the requirement on time and with less wastage so that we can make it more cost effective, right? And also to check the raw material location or availability. So is it all or it means something else also
This is the final conclusion.
for the
When you
lean,
want to
right?
use lean process, this is the final conclusion.
So this is the
Why
reason
are
why
we
we,
adopting lean practice?
okay.
Why are we following lean practices and all, everything? Due to this reason, right?
Okay.
It's very simple to you to understand. First of all, think practically. You are a manufacturer.
Mhm.
Right? You want to make your company profitable. How it happens? You have to target more customers. So for that, what is that you require? You need to have a perfect sales and BD team. Not only sales and BD team, you need to have a quality product with affordable cost. So affordable cost, quality of the product, you have to reach the customer so that customer will buy it. right? This is your target as a manufacturer. Now, due to indiscipline functionalities, whichever is being used in the organization, if the manufacturing cost is more, even though how best your sales team is, how efficient your business development team, can they able to sell the product in online market? Is it possible to them? End of the day, cost matters to a client. Do you agree or not? Right? Right.
Right.
If you want to reach to the target, what is that you require? Efficiency of managing or efficiency in developing a product is required. If you want to improve your efficiency in developing a product, what is that you need to have a discipline. Discipline of what? Discipline of time, discipline of usage of the components, what you have, and discipline of the people who are skilled workers. They need to have a discipline of using the components. So if you are not making any kind of systematic approach in this, what will happen? For example, to manufacture one X product, normally manufacturing cost will be 30 rupees. What you have to do due to this indiscipline things, you have to put somewhere around 50 or 60 rupees, right? Why? Because the wastage is more. Wastage is more. You have to put either 50 rupees or 60 rupees on that product. Again, it's going to the wholesaler, seller, all that. Again, the cost will be doubled, right or not? Right? Cost will be doubled or whatever the cost it was. If it is not that cost which is being given by the other competitors in the market, how quality your product are, it won't reach us to the final target what you want to reach. Will you agree or not?
Right.
Do you agree or not?
Yes, I agree. So Raj, is it necessary that, for example, like you gave the example for mobile phone, right? So the mobile phone manufacturing unit must be following lean, where the assembly is going on, right? So is it necessary that the companies who provide the component, like you mentioned, the IC board or microphone, things like that, should they also follow the lean, or is it
Absolutely.
fine if they?
Absolutely. Anyone. See, anyone. Because IC circuit. Because you are a manufacturer of mobile, right? Who is following?
Mhm.
Who is selling you the IC circuits? All that. Other manufacturer. Other
Right.
manufacturer also should buy. We should follow the same. Why? Because, for example, IC circuit के लिए 12 rupees. Assume that, right? Roughly, I'm just saying 12 rupees.
Mhm.
Due to his indisciplined practices, he is selling it for 15 rupees. Will you buy?
Sorry, what you said?
You are a mobile manufacturer. Okay. You are buying IC circuits and all everything from one of your manufacturer, one of the seller, right? Now, usually in market it is 12 rupees.
Okay.
Is 12 rupees.
Mhm.
This guy is selling you for 15 rupees. Will you buy?
No,
Why?
it's not like it's expensive, right? Than the
Because you are a
market.
customer, isn't it? You are a customer for him.
Mhm.
Why are you not buying? Because that is expensive. Why is it is
Mhm.
expensive? Because he also should follow some practice. Forget about JAT, lean or whatever it is. Forget about that.
Mhm.
They have to
Mhm.
follow a discipline to reduce the wastage in terms of the components and time. Do you agree? Right?
But
Right or not?
like
What
price,
will happen?
but Raj, price increment not directly linked to wastage. There can be like profit margin. Maybe they are looking for broader profit margin, so that's why maybe their cost is more.
That is the second level. See, Aviral, see the point is whether you are putting 20% profit margin or 30% margin, आपका मर्जी था, right? That is your wish.
Mhm.
But that is different, right? That is your personal choice. That is your discipline. That is your company policy. But
Okay.
before that, minimum manufacturing cost should be 12 rupees, for example,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Assume
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
right? If you
Yeah,
are maintaining a discipline, it will be 12 rupees. Because of the indiscipline policy, if it is happening 15, whose fault is this?
the company component making, right?
We agree, right? So because of this, what you have to do indirectly, it is impacting on the margin of profit what you want to make. You are planning for
Okay.
30% margin. Due to this, 3 rupees was increased. So due to this, what you're doing, you're coming down to 25 rupees. 25 rupees.
Okay.
Is it impacting or not? You cannot keep it
Right.
for 30 rupees, right? So 30 rupees margin you can't keep. If you put 30 rupees margin again, what will happen? In your competitors, they are giving for 25, they are putting 25 rupees margin only. But you're putting 30 rupees margin because of the wastage of components. It has to complete in 12 rupees. There you are making it for 15 rupees. Right?
Right.
Agree or not? Understood.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay. Right.
See, for example, you are doing for the good reason, right? You can reduce the profit. Okay, fine. You are very good. You want to make it for 15% average profit. You want to make. You don't want to make more profit. But at least to sustain your business for a long time, you have to follow a disciplined practice, isn't it? Right?
Right. Right.
May not be impacting you now. Business, what business will happen? Business, impact will not be shown you on the first time itself. Will be continued, right? It's like a multiplication kind of stuff. It will be impacted on the long run perspective, not in the short run perspective. Whenever the business is going on successfully, you don't see all these faults, right? These faults will be so micro level to you, right? You usually never care being a business owner. But when something goes wrong, right? Sometimes in doldrums, if you really realize that this is because of this reason, what will happen? We can't do anything, right? So that time you have lost that control over it.
Right. So we need to have a lean process in all the companies which are directly and indirectly related to the manufacturing, right?
Slowly people are adopting. See, I don't say lean process because lean practices. You can ask me one more thing, Raj. Everybody are following it? See,
Mhm.
is that every IT organization is following Agile?
No, 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 no. Yeah.
So you cannot generalize this, or we cannot generalize this for everyone.
Okay.
We cannot generalize this.
But yeah, it's ideal situation to be like follow this for the component units also, right? And one more question, like you mentioned, like lean also help us in identifying the raw product. So is it like it list down the manufacturer for the components with their competitive price, or is it like how does it work in that case?
Sorry,
Like for
sorry.
like you mentioned, GIT or lean helps us in identifying the raw product, right? Where to get the raw products from. So is it like they are listing some company names or manufacturing names with their price list from where we can procure the component?
I didn't get your question properly. Can you come again? Can you come again?
Sorry. Yes, yes, yes. Like you mentioned here, na, that lean is also used to identify from where we can get the component or the raw product.
No, no, no. See, where to get the, see, you're understanding in a proper, not in a proper. See, it is
Okay.
lean process is not used to identify to get the component. To
Mm-hmm.
identify the component where you have placed within your place. It's not to purchase.
What does it mean?
See, I'll
Is
tell
it
you one
like
thing first. Forget about manufacturing. Forget about manufacturing. I already
mm-hmm,
given the last example. The same example I'll give you. Every
mm-hmm,
day you have a discipline that you have to be there at office by 9 o'clock.
right,
Right? This is the
mm-hmm,
discipline. If
right,
this is the case, if you wake up at 7 o'clock, 2 hours will be time.
mm-hmm,
You can complete all your ablutions.
mm-hmm,
And wherever the dress, shoes, mobile, laptop with full charging, all these, if you are placing everything in a proper time, proper way, proper place, right? You are placing all these.
mm-hmm,
So what will happen? Even though if you wake up at 8 o'clock, you can be there by 9 o'clock, right? Even though you sometimes if you wake up late, you can go by there. Why? Because everything is fall on place wherever it is. Now assume that you are not following this discipline at all, right? No mobile charging, no laptop charging, right? You are putting your shoes somewhere there and there, right? You are not following anything of this. What will happen because of this? To complete your ablutions and all these things usually takes half an hour time. How much time you are spending every day because of this kind of practice? You are spending
We
45 minutes, right?
right,
So you
right.
don't have enough time for you to eat your breakfast. Eat your breakfast. So what is happening nowadays? Now you are missing your breakfast and you are going, right?
Understood. So what I understood from this is like lean help us in like managing the things in a better way so that we can
Right,
save a lot of time, right?
right,
Hmm.
right. It's very
Okay,
simple. Okay? You
right,
you can implement this practice in our personal lives also. The reason I have
right,
given this example to you,
right,
because
right.
lean practice is not something being used in manufacturing. It's not something like a rocket science. The same practice, if you follow in our personal lives, if you are following, it will be good, because there is a discipline we follow, right? So so
Right,
that you can
right.
reduce the time, right? Unnecessary wastage of time for searching something and all everything. If you want to
Right.
reduce, this is what. So this is applicable even in manufacturing. The same thing is being used in IT services also. It may not be named as a lean, but now here we are
Hmm.
using it as agile.
Okay,
Understand
got it.
clearly?
Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah, yeah.
Now, for example, if you take banking sector, now you could ask me, Raj, you're talking about manufacturing industry. Manufacturing industry requires lot of components, less use. Okay, okay, that is fine and understood. Even agile company, IT companies also I understand, because agile requirement and all. Then you said like non-IT, like banking, insurance companies will also require agile way of approach. For what reason?
Hmm.
I tell you, if you remember earlier, if you have a complaint, for example, your mobile is not working or something, like if you raise a complaint anywhere, if you see in the beginning, somewhere around 15-20 years, sometime back, if you give a complaint to complete your at least mobiles, right? So we used to not mobiles, landlines, all that, right? In the beginning days, if you remember,
Hmm.
you give a complaint, almost it takes 7 days or 10 days time for you to complete your repairing your this thing, right? In the beginning,
Right. Got
means when I
it.
childhood,
Resolution. Hmm.
that is how the thing is. Now,
Hmm.
for example, if there is some water filter problem, right? If you are just raising a complaint, within fraction of half an hour, within half an hour, the person who is in and around you is coming here, and he's getting it's being getting repaired by him, and he's going back. So from the time of raising a query, within 45 minutes your query is getting resolved.
Hmm.
Is it happening or not?
Right.
So what is happening every day? Each and every service, either it's a banking or insurance or IT services or a manufacturing industry, whoever they want to improve their customer satisfaction they want to improve, right? So to
Hmm.
follow and as well as to make their customer satisfied, what is that they require? They have to follow different practices. So
Hmm.
agile is a way of practice which is being used even non-IT also, even banking
Okay.
sector. For example, lot of people are coming at a time in the bank, right?
Hmm.
At a
Hmm.
time to the bank. For example, there is a vaccination drive going on.
Hmm.
Okay, there is a vaccination drive going on. There were 2,000 rupees per vaccine, for example, right? 500 rupees per vaccine, right? This is it is. There was an announcement outside that 500 rupees you have to get a cash. You have to get a cash.
Hmm.
Sudden, all of a sudden, lot of customers came to your branch. You are the branch manager for the bank. Lot of customers, all of a sudden, most of the people came. Now, in that, people who are premium customers were there, who is getting 2-3 lakhs money. There were some old age people. There were some other specially abled people, right? Everybody were there in that. Now, being a manager, you want to reduce this complexity, because lot of gathering is and all everything is not preferable nowadays due to the pandemic condition. So you want to subsidize this, or you want to minimize this risk as earliest. This is what being a manager your responsibility now. So remember again, this is not the one which you have not expected, right? You have not expected this kind of problem, but immediately it happened. Forget about the reason, right? Whatever the reason it could be, it happened. Now, being a manager, you have to take a decision accordingly. What you do, you'll request some people to go to the ATM machine, which is just beside to you. You'll assist one of your executive so that he'll be taking care of some people, right? Second, you make an arrangement somewhere in the launch somewhere where you keep all your elders and all elder people and all everything there, and your one or two of your executives will go there, and they are giving services directly there itself. They are taking everything from there and they are coming here and they're doing it. So some part going there. Premium people means who is taking lakh, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupee. You are saying, you told them that go to the first counter, go to the first floor, there is a counter, immediately it is available, you go and take money there. So this, for example, this is the decision you have taken. Is this decision was earlier with you?
No, that was on the ad hoc basis.
What you said, that was on
Ad hoc basis. I mean, immediate basis or
why?
random basis due to situation.
So this is what generally requires, this is what generally happens in every organization. So there is an amount of discipline, there is an amount of immediate action to be taken in order to reduce something. For that reason, agile is becoming mandatory in every organization. Okay, right? Slowly, I am talking about slowly transformation is going on. Now
Okay.
coming back to our example, coming back to our lesson, our discussion. Now you could ask me one thing, Raj, why all these, right? So why Scrum, why XP, why Kanban, all that. Now I'll tell you, you are working for a company called XYZ. It's a software company.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are experienced, listen carefully. You guys are experienced in using Scrum because that is how you are. Like you are one of the member. Your boss means 3-4 people are experienced in using Scrum, and you felt the Scrum is something successful from your side. You felt that some Scrum has successful result for you earlier. So people have started that better we use Scrum framework for using Agile because we have used. Reason is that I used, because of that it is succeeded, right? That is what my context is, because I was not experienced. Assume that I am one of the member. I prefer Scrum. Why? Because I'm experienced in Scrum. I understood the Scrum process. So I was succeeded in using and implementing Scrum. Always I prefer Scrum only, right? Now you guys are following the practice of Scrum. You have decided. Now customer, you got a customer who is from the manufacturing automobile side. Automobile.
Mm-hmm.
This automobile manufacturer name called Toyota. Toyota, right? Toyota is a manufacturing company. These people are using lean practices and all everything for very long time. In practically also they are using, they are the one first of its kind. This Toyota people have started working on lean, right? So this is reality, but still anyway the same example I have taken. Now these people are following lean practices to manage their operations, to manage their business operations. They are following it. Now you guys are planning to develop a solution to one of your customer. Who is the Toyota, right? Toyota manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to develop a solution for one of your customer called Toyota manufacturer, you are taking up the requirements and you want to provide solutions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
But the way of approach of dealing things in respect to the business process and all everything will be something that they are following a practice of Kanban, which has to be adopted by you.
Kanban,
Understand?
lean.
Why? Because
No,
you
no.
are providing.
They are following lean, right?
They're following lean process, lean Kanban, right? Lean Kanban process. So for
Okay.
example, Kanban process they're following, for example, right? Lean
Mm-hmm.
Kanban process they're following.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to adopt lean Kanban along with Scrum. You have to club both.
Okay.
Why? Why? Because you are providing a solution to one of your customer.
Mm-hmm.
In process of providing solution, what is the first thing you have to do? First of all, you have to understand their business process. Next, second, you have to understand the objectives of their business. Third, you have to understand the business style of functionality. And at the same time, you need to understand their strategies and goals. Unless until if you are not following all these, being a solution provider, can you provide a solution to anyone?
No. Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
No.
No, right? Now, what you have to do, you have to put your legs on their shoes. You have to think from which perspective you have to think. You have to think from the perspective of a customer, not as a solution provider, isn't it? Right?
Right.
If you're thinking from a solution provider perspective, what will happen? What will happen? You'll stop somewhere because your thinking process don't go beyond that. Why? Because always your mindset is such a way that I am providing solution, right? Your mindset is
Mm-hmm.
obviously like this. But your problem, how you to understand, you have to understand from their perspective. If this is the if this is the situation I am in, if this is the problem am I facing, what kind of solution and what type of solution am I expecting? If you are thinking from this perspective, what will happen? Providing solution will become much easier for you. Do you agree or not? This is where
Mm-hmm.
most of the people lacking, right? Always we try to think from our perspective. For example, I am the solution provider. I am going to provide the solution. This is how I think. But usually we don't think from the end user perspective. What end user want, we don't really care. In most of the cases, I'm saying, I'm not generalizing this, right? We don't care. Now they are following a practice of Kanban for a very long time. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to make your customer happy, and if you want to make your customer by aligning your solution to that level, what is that you require? You have to adopt some policy of Kanban also with you, because
Okay.
you are not experienced in Kanban, they are not experienced in Scrum.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm repeating, you are not experienced in Scrum Kanban, you guys are. They are not experienced in Scrum because they don't require Scrum in their manufacturing site. You don't
Mm-hmm.
require Kanban because you are experienced in Scrum. So what is that in Via Media you have to do when you're developing a process or when you're developing something? You have to merge both the things. This is what we call it as Scrum ban. This is what we call it
Okay.
as Scrum ban. I'm just writing here.
Mm-hmm.
Scrum ban means Scrum followed by Kanban. Combination is being used by you guys to develop a solution for the customer. Understood? Clear?
So just we are combining the principles or values of both this framework. You can say Scrum as well as Kanban, and that is Scrum Ban, right?
Right. So this is what we call it as Scrum ban. Now, here is the question. Is this practice followed by everywhere? No, you are not following everywhere. Wherever it is
Right.
required, first point. Second, are you capable enough to handle this kind of practice? Point number two. Third, are you guys are really confident that this can be successfully implemented by you in long run? Point number three. Four, understanding the reality. So these are the four areas where you will be focused more before you are implementing a combination of Scrum and Kanban.
What was the
Okay,
last one?
sorry,
The last one. What was the last one?
Scrum Ban. This is the reason why we are using Scrum Ban.
No, no, no. Like you said, four questions, right? Are we able to handle it? Are we able to run it for long term? And I think there was one more point, right?
You have to think the reality. practical possibility. Reality you have to understand.
And what will that depend on?
Reality, is it possible for you to implement? Do you have that expertise?
Okay.
Right? If you don't have the expertise, what should you do? You have to hire people, right? Or else you have to train your people. How much time it will be taken? Do you have this much time to do all these things? Right? At the same time, you
Mhm,
need to hire other people to this. What will be the cost?
mhm,
This
mhm.
is what reality matlab.
Okay.
Understand? So, whenever you are working on an IT environment, at least to the high level extent possible, I'm not talking about the detailed ones, at least in high level extent, why Scrum is being used, for what reasons, in which situations, why XP is being used, for what reasons, in which situations,
Mhm.
why Kanban is used, for what reasons, and which situation. So
Okay.
that being a learner, you need to understand. So why are we learning this? Because of this reason. Clear now? I think you got the clarity now, right?
First Kanban, right?
It's Scrum and or else sometimes Scrum and XP, right? Combination maybe, right? Sometimes Scrum with traditional model, right? So why are you
Mhm,
going for combinations, and why single, even one or combinations you are using? Because you must be knowing about the basic understanding and as well the difference of these things. For example, if you take Scrum,
mhm,
the amount of time to complete a sprint will be given you 4 weeks time for you, the maximum time,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
But when you follow an XP practice, where, because XP is an engineering practices, it's not project management practices. Scrum follow project management practice, XP follow engineering practices. Engineering practices matlab pair programming. I'll explain tomorrow all these points, right? Pair
okay.
programming. So these kind of practices like TDD, test driven development. Due to
Mhm,
these engineering practices, the amount of time in XP you are giving is only 2 weeks. You are not taking 4 weeks time. You are taking only,
2 weeks.
you're taking 2 weeks time for you to complete the work.
Mhm,
Understood? Everyone follow or not?
okay. Yes.
Do you agree?